Hello and welcome everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV, welcoming you to beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, taking a look at what's new and what's alive for 25 from the Jayco RV Group. Today, we're gonna do some really fast flyby checks and looks at a bunch of their travel trailers. I'm going to have similar videos dedicated specifically to their fifth wheels and their motorized units. And I'm also going to chapter mark the living crap out of this thing so you can jump around to the different floor plans. Now, they have tons of RVs here. I cannot possibly capture them all, so I kind of need to hear some feedback from you folks, what you think about these early sneak peeks, what you think about some of the early updates, so I know what to prioritize to record for you. And if you appreciate how I get away from Michigan to come over here to Nevada to record this stuff in July for you, Vegas in July, what could go wrong? I'm about sweating to death in here. Hit that like button, subscribe to our videos, and let's get going and let me hear what you want to see. So we're going to kick things off basically working up the family chain loosely, give or take. We're going to begin with the single axle J-Fly SLX models. The entire series has been completely reinvented. These were 7 foot wide. They've gained an entire foot of body space and gone to an 8 foot standard body with 6.5 foot interior height. Now that's not necessarily like never done before in the industry, but it greatly improved what they were able to do with this. Like, this is probably one of the most direct copy over floor plans, but even here you can still see how they were, like, they gave you a full 4-person family dinette. The kitchen storage is vastly improved with more drawer space as well as dedicated wastebasket space for every single model. But when they went 8 foot wide, one of the things they made sure they did was include a bathroom sink in every model, so you no longer have to wash your bathroom hands in the kitchen sink, which is something they had before. That's also a true queen bed. That's something that's not on every model, but it is one that stayed on this model, something that's easy to miss. Plus, you still have a window in the entry door, the kind of thing that a lot of manufacturers don't give you in a smaller camper segment. Now, this new floor plan right here, I am so excited to see this finally make landfall in the Jayco family. They could never pull off a single axle double over double bunkhouse before because they never had the space. When they went 8 foot wide instead of 7, they finally had the space to make this floor plan happen. And it's what I call a tandem axle floor plan, all in a single axle. It's 10 pounds of sugar in a 5-pound sack. Up front, you've got that fold-down Murphy sofa Dynofa Wombo combo, a full, big, true U dinette, which is something that really opens up the space when you open that slide. Plus, it's now 8 foot wide. It feels so much vastly bigger than the previous 184 BS. It just, to me, it blows it out of the water. Again, plus better kitchen storage. That bottom bunk does fold up for a little bit of a cargo function there. They're, 6.5 foot tall, which means my head at 6 foot plus would be in the skylight, but they actually have a skylight, so you actually can accomplish that. It feels like a tandem axle bathroom. And when I first walked past this camper, I almost didn't even put the camera to it. This replaces the 183 RB, which was a front bed, a side dinette, and a rear bathroom solo or couples model. And the longer I looked at this, the more I like it. And frankly, the more I like it now. So once again, easy to miss. That's a true queen bed. Now, they built this with a slide. This is a prototype that could fit a dinette, but they are considering making it a sofa-only floor plan, which would save a little bit of weight and cost. But the kitchen, look at how much kitchen counter space and cabinet space and storage. And again, there's dedicated wastebasket space in there. And this is perhaps one of the best bathrooms I've ever personally seen in a single axle camper. Good demo there, right? Of me in the shower skylight space. But hey, it's a big skylight. I can make it work. But really, really good storage in this bathroom. This is way better than I expected. Again, I almost ignored that camper and walked past it. Now, moving up to their tandem axle stuff, I accidentally skipped up to a full J flight here. This is the 235 MBH. This is like the big brother to the 197 MB. So instead of a single axle, if you went with a full tandem axle, this right here would basically be the result. Now, since this is a full J flight, not an SLX, you get things like that 250-pound roof ladder always on there. Now, this is a short queen folding bendy bed, but it's one of the easiest I found. And if you just want to leave the bed down, since they have drawers below that sofa, you don't even have to wrestle with it to get to the storage. And the other thing is, the way they made this model, and you'll see this in my full walkthrough video. Remember, I'm going to try to get full walkthrough videos of as many of these as I possibly can. And based on your input, I'm going to try to hunt down and target more. You could put a true queen bed in this, leave it all down all the time, and still be able to close that slide. So this is a true queen capable model. It just happens to have a short queen Murphy bed. Notice too that J-Flight has maintained things like the use of a full oven. So many manufacturers have pulled features like that out. And when you get into the tandem axle J-Flights, you gain 3 extra inches of interior height. And notice how my head's no longer in the skylight. Those extra 3 inches make the difference right there. These are also really good for having big full pass-throughs. Now we have jumped back down to the SLX family, the little brother series here. This is a very popular no slide solo or couples model right here. It's just no slide, it's lightweight, it's easy. Although I did notice this year that it enjoyed a little bit of an upgrade on the GVW because its cargo capacity was a little light last year. It gained about 500 extra pounds of additional cargo capacity, but still fits into a 6,000 pound GVW, which I think is pretty reasonable. Again, they really focused in on their kitchens for the 2025 series. And if you're really noticing too, no more pleather furniture. That plasticky fake leather pleather stuff that when the RV is just out of warranty seems to have a way of peeling, cracking, and fading. That stuff's all gone. It's all cloth touch. And across the entire Jayco family, what they're using is basically like every bit of furniture has the highest legal amount of like Scotch Guard, basically kind of coating that you could put onto it so that it, repels dribbles and stains and all that kind of stuff. Now, this little floor plan right here, one of the surprising features is that it does have central air, which most builders of a no-slide camper will not do. Again, it's a short queen, but it is true queen capable. Again, jumping back up to full J-Flight, this is one of my absolute favorite couples camping layouts right here. There's so many manufacturers that build it. They each have a couple really good qualities, but whoever makes it, I always find myself liking this layout. Now, through the J-Flight family, you're going to find the, if not standard 200 watt solar, the ability to option on 200 watts of solar. And when we move up to a full J-Flight like this, you also gain Goodyear tires. I appreciate how they included that privacy curtain right there. That's one of those little details that a lot of builders of this layout do not offer. And again, I will get you a full walkthrough video of this one just because I'm very certain of its popularity effectively. Good campsite window there. Again, the taller ceiling really opens this space up. I guess you could technically call it a little bit of a toast ever slide, but one of the things they did is they brought the stove and the refrigerator and everything forward to the edge of the slide so that, you're not like concussing yourself trying to stand in the slide box and lean forward to get to that stove. So they did a really good job. Everything makes sense. The road mode on this is very functional. So the location of that converter box kind of in the middle of the RV where the slide is not a problem whatsoever. And I was really surprised, very pleasantly so, with that big closet right there they have in the bathroom of this one. I was not expecting that. Now, jumping over the J-Feather family, overall, the J-Feather Micros, you won't see a whole lot of difference here. There is one difference that you can very obviously feel, though, and that is their roof. The J-Feather Micro Series, and only the J-Feather Micro Series, has gone to a vacuum-bonded laminated roof, basically very similar to like what Rockwood has been doing successfully for years. Jayco's been kind of stress testing this for a couple seasons, and they found that it is lighter weight and they're not giving up any structural strength and or integrity. So these J-Feather Micros all gained a little bit of cargo capacity. Now, they've also redone the look and appearance of their Murphy beds this year. It is still a flopsy, bendy bed, but it's so simple and easy to put up and down. Remember that a propane oven and convection microwave electric oven are also both available options here on the J-Feather Micro series. In the biggest rooms of J-Feathers, they give us the XL vent fans. You will still have the 4-inch fart fan basically in the bathroom, but that's easily upgraded. And the fact is, they're giving you airflow kind of proportionately where you need it when you need it. And the storage they have in the bathroom of this one is also fantastic. Jumping over from there, Moving up into the tandem axle J-Feather series, again, at a glance, you won't see a lot of differences here beyond the things we've talked about. Now, this 23RK is just a monster floor plan. It comes in just under 30-foot tip to tail, big campsite picture viewing window, easy direct viewing entertainment, mounted up a little high, maybe, but free-floating dining table is also a nice thing if you want to pop that outside. And J-Feather's really flirting with giving us a bunch of these little mini discs. And the more I wrap my head around this, the more I thought, this would work really good for someone like me. It's not a full-on office. That's not what this camper is. But if you're someone like me who, when you go on family vacation, every now and then there's an emergency, hey, Josh, we need you to fix this real quick. Something went sideways. I could grab my laptop. I could do a quick little emergency fix, and I could go. Or, when I was younger, that would be the spot that I would sit there with a coloring book in my grandparents' camper, and I could just scribble all the live long day if it's a rainy day outside and we're all trapped inside this little RV. I could definitely make that work. Now, J-Feathers have gone to true queen beds anytime it's a fixed bed, but they've changed up their side stands. Like, you don't see side hanging wardrobes. They actually have built-in big bonus closets. And if you back the video up a little bit, those little bedside stands actually are drawers. The top slides open. But I want to kind of do some myth busting here. I've been hearing in the forums people like, oh no, I can't believe Jayco canceled Whitehawk. Why is Whitehawk gone? It's not. Allow me to put that to rest. Doesn't that look a lot like a Whitehawk? Whitehawk and J-Feather were getting so similar. The construction's been identical for years. The features were virtually identical. They just visually looked a little bit different. So to just kind of clean up the ranks and make it obvious, they have merged Whitehawk into J-Feather. So what was previously a 26FK Whitehawk is now a 26FK J-Feather. But it's not just a situation of brand new look, same great taste. They also went through and made some nice, smart revisions to it when and where they could. Like the bedroom of this one, previously that Whitehawk was only a queen bed. So many people wanted a king bed. Well, they have played with this thing a little bit, and the J-Feather nose cap was a different shape, and it allowed them to actually pick up some extra space in the RV without extending the RV. So now you have the choice between a queen or a king bed. And they've also improved the storage here in the bedroom. So there's kind of a split now in the tandem axle J-Feather family. If it's a fiberglass front J-Feather, it's a 30 amp smaller J-Feather single air. It's basically smaller than a super slide model. When you get up into a nose cap J-Feather, that's when you start getting 50 amp service and dual air capability. But other than that, it's the same equipment, same trim package, same things right there. But it's not just a situation where they took the best floor plans from both brands. They actually took the time to make some new models too. But did you notice all the new seating options and configurations? If you want a full super slide super sofa that is basically a wombo combo theater seat and hide-a-bed mashed into one, you can do that now. Or you can stick with a traditional sofa and dinette arrangement, whether you want a hide-a-bed, a theater seat, a booth, or a freestanding table and chairs. Now this model right here, it's like they took the 29BH Whitehawk and the 27BH J-Feather and they mashed them together and had a baby, but they didn't sacrifice anything. They took all of the best qualities of both of them and put them together. That does mean this came out a little longer and a little heavier, but this thing has all of the equipment. You've got 200 watts of standard solar, your inverter prepped, you've got tie downs for things like e-bikes. That's a fold up cargo bunk, as you see right there. And if you want to, you can perform a kayakoscopy on this RV and literally load a kayak up the backside of this thing. Now, I love these little fold down ladders. People ask me all the time, what's the part number? I'm just a video nerd. I'm sorry. I don't have parts shop part numbers, but our local teams can get that for you. You may have noticed too, the J-Feather family, actually, no. Every single laminated Jayco RV, they've gotten rid of the floor vents. But they've done a very interesting thing with the flooring system. We'll talk more about when we get into the bigger fifth wheels. Now, we are looking at a prototype right here, and I love the way this is laid out. Like, again, doesn't this look more like a Whitehawk than a J-Feather with the big U dinette and everything? White Hawk didn't go away. It just joined the family. So that's a true queen bed, or remember, you now have a king bed option up here. And this prototype, they did a very interesting thing with the big closet. They're probably going to split it. If I end up showing it in this footage, it's one giant mega closet that goes between the living room and the bedroom. That's probably going to split where you have a living room closet and then a bedroom closet. I do have full video of this one coming. The only thing I think you gave up by White Hawk becoming Jayfeather is it no longer has the barreled roof, but that's the only difference that I've really noticed. I'm excited about this floor plan though. So this one doesn't put all the big windows over on the campsite. Remember, they already have a model that does that. That's called the 32RL. That used to be a White Hawk. It's now a Jayfeather. So if you want all the windows on the campsite, they do that. This is purposely built to be something a little different. It is swimming with glass window coverage, and those are tinted, but in this display with all the insane backlighting going on inside, it's just not as obvious. The underbelly still enclosed, heated, still great extended season weather package, but this thing has a monstrous open feeling living room, and there's a great look at that super sofa. Now again, this is the first prototype. They only had one of those super sofas available, so right now the theater seat faces the sink. It's not going to be that way. The theater seat's going to be across from the entertainment, and your hide-to-bed section's going to be over there. But again, remember how Jayfeather's playing with the idea of these little mini desk spaces? Did you notice how he had some pop-up power outlets back there? Or you just have the world's biggest kitchen prep station. The theater seat section or sofa section will be straight across from the power televator right there. And they did an amazing job of putting all kinds of easy reach power outlets in this thing all over the place. I like this floor plan. I know it doesn't provide maximum campsite window coverage, but again, they make a different model that does that. This is intended to be something else kind of purposely. Now, another thing that they're doing, Jayfeather was including, and White Hawk, they were including like a floating picnic table. They're actually including now a pair of factory provided TV trays, which might sound a little hokey, but if you've ever camped and you've had a sofa, you know how useful those TV trays are. That is such a cool feature. It's easy to miss, but did you notice on those bedside stands, there's little black hockey puck looking things? Those are actually wireless phone charge pads, and they pop up to create USB plugs. Now this right here, I think the caption says it best. They took aim to reimagine this. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, they really had a very grand design for this style of floor plan right here. And you know what? R&D sometimes means rip off and duplicate, but I ain't mad at it. They did a really, really good job. And every manufacturer always brings their own little twist and swing to this. So like the TV trays, their style of Murphy bed. They made this countertop actually flip up to create like a hidden little desk storage space like I'm back in elementary school. But it's cool at the same time, and they reinforced it so that if you do put some heavyweight stuff on there, or if you lean on it, you're not going to bust the thing. They really executed this very well. Frankly, I looked at this thing and I asked the question, is there is there demand for a no bunk version of this? Because I would personally really love to see a no bunk version of this layout. Now, one of the other key differences here, this is a Jayfeather Air, not a Jayfeather Micro. This is the missing link between the single and tandem axle Jayco Jayfeathers. It's a full 8 foot wide. It's not 7.6. But moving on up to the big boys here, Eagle is just beautiful this year. It's like a three-dimensional, where it says Eagle on the nose cap, it's actually 3D like backlit. Now you see those triple canisters right there? Instead of having that water jug system that they had before, which is only good if you had the jug filled, they've installed on every Eagle, North Point, Pinnacle, and Seismic a water filtration system. It's a 3-stage water filter. It's very similar to, like, you ever see those little survival straws where you can stick your a straw in like this brackish pond and be able to drink it? It's essentially that, but in a 3-stage canister. It's good for something like 2,000 gallons of water. That's a lot. That's a lot of water. You know what I mean? Now, this model right here, it's what I call the flat deck fifth wheel, where it gives us just maximum campsite window coverage. They've got a little bit of that Franken dinette going on where you have a floating storage ottoman. I would pull that ottoman over into the living room myself to have a place to kick my feet up if I'm sitting on the sofa enjoying that point of view. Again, all of your Eagle family, they got rid of all the floor vents. But here's the cool thing. They still have heat ducting in the flooring. They didn't go the cheap dryer hose vent route, because when you do that, you lose 37% of your effective airflow. You lose over a third of your effective heating. So your heat plenum still goes through the floor, still provides maximum efficiency. They came up with a totally custom crafted, new engineered solution to provide you the best heating while simultaneously getting rid of the floor vents that you've been asking for a couple years. And I would love to hear what you're thinking about the Jayco family of travel trailers this season. So once again today, just a real fast flyby look at a whole bunch of different travel trailers they have coming out. I will get you some separate videos on just the fifth wheels and just the motorized. So if you want to see those things, if you're new with the channel, hit that subscribe button. And again, let me know what you want to see in more detail. If I can't get to it right away, I will work to get to it later this year. So build me that hit list and I'll do my best to fill it in. Till next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.